What if the world you knew was suddenly threatened by creatures that slithered silently through the grass, ready to strike at any moment? Imagine a time when survival meant confronting the dangers of nature without the comfort of modern technology. How would you react to a world where every step could be your last step into the distant past? Where humans battled the primal forces of nature, fighting not only for food, but for their very survival. 8.5 million years ago, the world was a hostile environment, dominated by serpents, predators, and a landscape that constantly tested the limits of human endurance. In this world, every movement was calculated, every sound analyzed. The rustling of leaves could be the signal of a predator moving in the underbrush, while the stillness of the air might indicate a hidden danger, a snake poised and ready to strike. Unlike the comforts of modern life, where we can control our environment early, humans had no such luxury. Their survival depended on their ability to sense danger before it was too late. As the sun rose over the savanna, the early humans, still largely unaware of the complex world around them, began their daily routines. They were small, vulnerable creatures compared to the mighty predators that roamed the land. In this constant battle for survival, every moment was a calculated risk, and yet there was no way to escape the natural predators that lurked in the shadows. Snakes, some larger than any modern-day reptile, were one of the deadliest threats. With the ability to strike with lightning speed, they were a constant presence in the lives of early humans, and the fear they invoked was palpable. For the early humans, every step was a calculated risk. Walking through the thick grasslands meant avoiding the deadly creatures hiding beneath the Earth's surface. Every rustling in the grass, every shift in the wind, became an alert to danger. The presence of snakes, especially venomous ones, required quick thinking and even quicker reflexes. One wrong move, and the outcome could be fatal. The early humans learned to avoid these dangers by becoming attuned to their environment, watching for movement, listening for subtle sounds, and smelling the air for any sign of danger. Their survival depended on their ability to react to the world around them without hesitation. The snakes, though fearsome and dangerous, were not the only threat to these early humans. There were larger predators, lions, saber-toothed cats, and other powerful creatures that stalked the grasslands in search of prey. Unlike the serpents, which remained hidden, these predators were more overt in their hunt. But this did not lessen the tension. It only heightened it. A snake's strike was swift and quiet, often delivering death before the victim could even comprehend the danger. In comparison, the lions and saber-tooths would often engage in open pursuit, giving their prey a fleeting chance to survive. It was a fight for dominance, a fight for life. The serpent, unlike the roaring predators of the savannah, moved with a deadly silence. Its power lay in its stealth, its ability to disappear into the grass before striking, leaving its prey with no warning. For the early humans, this was a challenge unlike any other. How could they defend themselves against something that struck without a sound, something that blended seamlessly into the environment? The snake did not announce its arrival. There were no warning growls or pounces. It was the embodiment of fear creeping through the Earth's surface, with a chilling patience awaiting the perfect moment to strike. In this ancient world, fear was not an abstract emotion. It was a constant primal presence. Unlike modern humans who might fear the idea of a snake through a screen or in a controlled environment, early humans lived with this fear in real time. Each encounter with a snake was not just a danger to life, but also a threat to their very way of being. The snake represented the uncontrollable aspects of nature, the things that could kill without warning, without cause. Early humans had no shelters to protect them, no weapons with which to fight back against these silent predators. They relied on their bodies, their instincts, and their understanding of the natural world. As soon as they sensed the presence of a snake, They would react instinctively, whether it was a quick retreat, a series of evasive maneuvers, or in some cases an attempt to confront the danger head-on. These moments of extreme fear and heightened survival instincts shaped the development of early human culture and psychology. Fear became an integral part of their evolutionary journey, helping to sharpen their senses, heighten their awareness, and push them to adapt in ways that would ensure their survival in an unforgiving world. But the snakes were not always an obvious danger. Often they would wait until their prey was in striking range, often camouflaged perfectly in their environment. This made them all the more terrifying. How could one prepare for an enemy that was so adept at blending into the natural surroundings? For early humans, survival meant constantly adapting to this ever-present threat, learning to differentiate the subtle changes in the environment that might signal the presence of a predator. Their fear of nature was not rooted in a single event or memory. It was an ongoing daily negotiation between life and death, constantly moving between the awareness of danger and the act of survival. As the days turned to months and the months into years early, humans began to understand more than just the movements of their predators. They began to understand fear itself. Fear became a part of their evolution, a tool for survival, shaping their behavior, social structure, and even their physiology. But how much of this fear was truly grounded in survival, and how much of it was merely a reflection of the natural world around them? In the face of constant threats from snakes and larger predators, early humans relied on the instincts that kept them alive. Fear sharpened their reflexes and heightened their awareness of the world. However, this same fear began to seep into their consciousness, creating an emotional and psychological response that went beyond mere survival. It became an integral part of their worldview, dictating how they navigated not just the physical world, but also their social relationships and understanding of the environment. The snake, as a symbol, began to hold more weight than just a predator. It represented the unpredictable, the uncontrollable, the very nature of life itself. Early humans, like many creatures before and after them, could not escape the reality that nature was both beautiful and deadly. The snake was both a part of this beauty and a reminder of the ever-present danger lurking just beneath the surface. It was a force of nature that humans had to learn to respect and navigate. But in this respect, there was also fear. Fear not just of the snake, but of nature's overwhelming power, and of the idea that no matter how hard they tried, there would always be forces beyond their control. As early humans adapted to these dangers, they learned to live in a constant state of vigilance. Their survival depended on their ability to adapt to an environment where fear was always present, where the threat of death could arise from the most unexpected places. Over time, this constant awareness of danger became ingrained in human consciousness. Fear, once purely a survival mechanism, evolved into a psychological construct shaping the way early humans saw the world and how they interacted with it. This psychological evolution laid the foundation for what we now know as modern fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, and fear of the unseen dangers lurking in every corner of our world. The fear of snakes, once a simple response to a deadly threat, transformed over time into something much more complex, a fundamental aspect of human nature woven deeply into the fabric of our psyche.